In this video, we're going to look at one type of problem that can be asked about titrations. In this case, we're given a titration curve, and we're told that it was made by titrating 20 milliliters of an unknown weak acid using 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide. And then there are a couple of questions that they ask us about the acid that we need to answer using the titration curve. And the first thing I want to know is, what is the concentration of the acid? So to answer this question, we're going to use the equivalence point. And the equivalence point is the point where the pH changes the most rapidly. So the equivalence point we can see happens about right here, and it happens at a volume of 30 milliliters of sodium hydroxide being added. So the way we're going to find the concentration of the acid is we're going to use that at the equivalence point, the moles of the base that we added is equal to the number of moles of acid that we started with. And so let's finish this problem on the next slide. So we know it took us 30 milliliters to get to the equivalence point, and we know that at the equivalence point, the moles of base added is equal to the moles of acid that we started with. And because I know the concentration of the acid, if I can find the moles, then I can just use the molarity equation to get the concentration. So we'll start with the base. So to find the moles of base, we'll use the molarity equation, and we're looking for moles, so we'll rearrange that a little bit. So if I multiply the concentration times the volume, I should be able to find the moles of base that I had to add to get the equivalence point. And so the concentration of the base is 0.1 molar. I added 30 milliliters. I just had to convert it into liters here. And so I have 0.003 moles of base that I added. And so I know that at the equivalence point, the moles of base added is equal to the moles of acid that we started with. We know that we started with 0.003 moles of acid. To get the concentration, just divide the moles by the volume. We know we started with 20 milliliters, so I've converted it here to liters. And so the concentration of acid is 0.15 molar. All right, let's look at the second question they ask. So the second thing I want to know is, I want to know what is the Ka of the acid. And so the way we answer that question is we use that at the half equivalence point, the pH is equal to the pKa of the weak acid. So if the equivalence point was at 30 milliliters, the half equivalence point will be at 15 milliliters. So I come to 15 milliliters and I look and see, okay, the pH is about 5.25. That's about the best I can do with the resolution that I have on this particular graph. So to find the Ka, I know the pKa is 5.25. So the Ka is just 10 to the minus pKa. So the Ka is 10 to the minus 5.25. Or the Ka for the weak acid is 5.6 times 10 to the minus 6.